We had the end of the summer here, and now the winter's here, and spring is on its way. I'm sowing seeds inside so I could do a spring crop. So with that said, this is the end of my fall garden. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out. And this is my vineyard over here and my watermelon bed. What I'm gonna be doing is, as you can see, I brought in more soil. I'm building it up. I'm leveling it out. And I'm gonna put down ground cover for the watermelons to grow on. Now, everybody remembers all my culverts over here that I turned into planters. Well, basically, it's time to go ahead and pull all those out, clean up the area, fill it in, put ground cover, and put them back. That right down there is one huge tomato plant. And you can see I still got a lot of tomatoes on my vines, and they're still pickable. I've been harvesting them, giving them to my neighbors. I've been eating them, and there's some other things in there, but I've been working hard on prepping. And let's just take a little tour. And you know, on my off season, I always prep just before my growing season because I want everything pretty well as perfect as I could get it for growing. So this is what it all looks like. Okay, so I came in there with the tractor. I brought in dirt, went ahead and put it all in. I'm weeding along the whole fence line on both sides of the fence. This is my grapevine over here, my vineyard. Since I'm raising the land, I'm going to go ahead and raise these up about 3 feet eventually. But this is going to be a nice bed over here, tilt it that way. And this is all going to be ground cover. All of my culverts, I'm getting ready to remove those right now since I'm weeding. Right down here, I filled this in, sloped it. I'm going to be removing all those culvert pipes, all these, all of those. Going to transplant in the spring some of the stuff growing in it. There's the back side of the garden. You can see things are growing in it, but all those are coming out. Now this area over here, I went ahead and dug this out 3 feet down and filled it in with 4 feet of mulch. Eventually, turn around. In about 2 years, what I'm standing on here is 4 foot of mulch that's going to be composted by 12 feet wide, and it's going to be 100% organic compost, sort of like what you buy at Lowe's and Home Depot for like $5 a bag. And this is a lot of dump truck loads. And when it does turn nice, rich, and black, I'll dig it out and fill it in again. So basically, this is my compost pile right here, built into the ground. All along here is where I had my banana plants in pots and other stuff last year in culverts. Well, this whole area, I'm doing it a little bit different now. Let me get out over here. I went ahead and moved out some of my banana plants. Those are 30 bucks, those are 20 bucks, and there's some $10 ones in there. Went ahead and redid my whole hugelkultur pile. I added a whole bunch of composted chips. Okay. Okay, I still gotta level it all out, but this is fresh chips for my runways for the tractor and to walk on. But the darker stuff, you can see the beds, those are all hugelkultur beds going all the way down with logs under the ground. And these are my banana plants that are growing in my hugelkultur beds. So all that's prepped. I still got some more to put on the pile, and that's gonna be probably, you know, I don't know, whenever it's ready, probably another year. Not this year, but next year I'll plant. This is all fresh horse manure. That's all composted horse manure. There's a log pile that I'm gonna use for hugelkultur. This over here is the last. You remember that big mountain of mulch I had? This is the last. That pile there, you can still see it smoking a little bit. See the smoke coming out? Okay, well, that just means it's still hot. So it's still got a little bit more to go. But you can see I'm walking right through. We're right here, this whole pile, you can kind of see the outline on the ground. This was the huge mountain of mulch. Well, after a compost, you have to use it. So around the property, I went ahead and put it. I'm doing a tropical area in the front of my house. I filled in the hugelkultur area. Now I'm working on the garden over there. But all this year is going to be gone here shortly. And then I'll be concentrating on filling that up with more new chips. And in about another year or two, that'll be ready to put all over. Some of my Mexican sunflowers still got blossoms on them. These are all the seeds. The seeds fall to the ground. But remember I told you, they're sterile. They don't grow. If you look under all of my Mexican sunflower, you won't see any growth. And then we'll take a walk around. These are all my ice cream banana plants. There's a lot of pups under them. I'm letting it stay thick throughout the winter, because if we do have frost, which we already had frost once, it doesn't hurt them and it'll retain a little bit of heat. Over here is my Mexican sunflower, and back on in there, that's my Comfrey Bakken 14 in there. It's all doing really well. This was my pond I built. Now we're gonna go over here to some banana plants. Okay, over here some banana plants. These are Orinoco, and as you can see, they're pretty big. They're starting to plump up now. Hopefully we don't have a hard freeze and I'll be able to harvest those. But those are looking about as good as Orinocos are gonna look. And they started having bananas in 6 months, like a lot of my banana plants do. Same thing over here, I have bananas on that. Those are praying hands. Now we're gonna go over here to this section. These are Orinoco. I got a bunch of Orinocos coming in. They're still small. They just started producing. Let me take a little walk around. Pretty much all of them, it's got bananas on them right now. I have to go on that side to show you that. Here's bananas over here. And let me go around. Got bananas coming in over here, just starting up there. So pretty much all of these right in here. Got bananas coming in. Over here, here's Orinoco coming in. Everything's all wet. Let me get around over here. Same thing, some more Orinocos coming in over here. And down on the bottom, I got pretty much a lot of pups. I'm letting those pups, I'm letting the corms get really big and fat because I'm gonna separate them and sell them. And I just wanna ship out some really good, thick, big corms. And then over here, I got praying hands, and I got Orinoco. These are my hookah culture beds around my flagpole. You guys remember when I took on this project? Everything's doing really well there. In the front of the house over here, I got all this composted chips down. I extended out my walkway a good distance. I moved my shell horseshoe driveway out more. It gives it all a better look. Now we'll go around to the other side by the garden again. Like I say, just a quick tour. I'm working just about every day on the property. I haven't been doing it all on video. I get more done, and everybody likes to see stuff growing. So I do a lot of the work on video, but I don't do everything on video. So let me turn it around this way. So going down over here, all this over here is my plot field. That's all growing for the deer. This here is a bed to plant a Florida Prince peach tree this spring. And over here, you might remember where each one of these PVC pipes are going all the way down. I dug that all down 6 foot by 6 foot by 3 feet deep, added chips, went ahead and added horse manure, covered up. Right in there is going to be some nice banana plants coming up here shortly. Once again, this is all for the deer. So right over here is a big pile of fill that I went ahead and used around the watermelon area. That was probably about 4 dump truck loads. Right over here is pure composted dirt. It's topsoil. I got it from a sod company when they were doing a swimming pool. They brought it over. And right over here is about 3 years old composted chips, and it's 100% pure dirt right now. So let's go back over here. Okay, right back where we started. So over here, I'm doing the perimeter of the garden first. Then I got to get in the garden and rip everything out and prep it. But each one of these, I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to put all of the horse manure that's in there, the compost, in my bucket and take it away. Going to clean up the whole side of the fence like I did over there. And then fill it in, put shade cloth, or not shade cloth, put ground cover down, and then I'm going to put those back, and that's where my spring crop's going to be. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the little tour. Never a dull moment around here. I'm farming, doing permaculture, doing garden, doing hookah culture, doing bananas, doing a pond, doing mulching, going to get manure, going to get chips. Never ending. I got all the manure people telling me that I need to go pick some up, and I'm busy over here, so I told them they got to wait a little bit. So I'm kind of falling behind, but things are getting done. It's a little cooler out. We haven't had much of a winter. I'm hoping that we do have a little cold spell, because I come out here with this on, and then I start sweating and I take it off, so I'm working in the cold. So anyway, you get the point. Pretty soon I'll be doing some gardening videos. Catch you later. Okay, so this is what I do, is I go ahead and I put the irrigation up on top. I'm gonna want to remove some stuff from the inside. I pull that out and put it over there. Same thing with this one. I pull it out. Everybody wants to know why I leave the bottoms open. Here you go. I could pull those up easy, take out all the old and put in new. If the bottoms were on, that'd be so heavy and so hard to do. So all I do now is I get a shovel and I do this and I shovel it. Then I scoop all that out. Now down in here, you can see I got weeds. Weeds grow. This is the time of year I pull all the weeds out, cut the roots off, dig them out, and then prep it and redo it all. So when I start doing my garden in the spring, this is all going to look like picture perfect. Back at you. Okay, making progress. Got my empty culvert pipes along my grapevines. Got them away from the fence. Still got a couple more to go. When I take them off, they look like that. Then I shovel them in. For right now, I had to remove that tomato vine all along here. That was huge. It grew right out of this culvert. One grew along that whole fence all the way on up, and I went on the inside. It was all along this fence, and that's the pile. You let one tomato plant get out of control and it turns into a jungle. But anyway, I removed it. I have to go dump that and then come back and finish all these culverts, clean up the whole area, move all the culverts over there. So I'll talk to you later. Okay, so pretty much I got the whole side over here done, cleaned up all of my grapevines, leveled off the ground. Now basically what I need to do is go dump this load of weeds and tomato plants and tomatoes and stuff like that right here. Gonna go dump that. Then I'm gonna come back with some fill like I did all through here. I'm gonna go ahead and fill this in a little bit, level it all off, rake it a bunch of times, pack it on down, and then go get some ground cover. And I'm gonna try to ground cover as much of this as I can. It comes 6 foot by 300 foot rolls, and I'm gonna have to measure, but probably need about 5 rolls, I would think, of 300 foot, maybe more. But I'm gonna do what I could do, but definitely gonna put it right along here where I put those culverts. That way the weeds don't grow up around the culverts. That should probably help a lot. And then definitely under my grapevines, so I don't have to keep weeding under there. And then where the watermelons are going to grow, so the watermelons could grow over it and they won't get any kind of fungus problem by the dampness. Who knows? But anyway, let me get at it. Okay, I had enough abuse for the day, so I'm going to take a break. But this is what it looks like. Going all the way down. I brought in some fill, filled it, leveled it. I'm going to have to hand rake it a couple times to get it real nice. So that side of my vineyard is going to be watermelons. This side's just going to be flat. It's all going to be ground cover. This side's going to have all the culverts, and it also has grapevines. And I'm going to make it weed proof with the ground cover. And then I'll put all the culverts back over there, and there'll be veggies in them. So anyways, I think it's coming out good. I try not to kill myself, so each morning I come out and I work until about 12:01. Go in, have lunch and shower, and that's just the way it is. I'm not going to work all day, every day till 5 o'clock, but I put in a couple hours a day pretty consistently, and that way it starts looking good. Remember, there's 4 sides to a garden, and then there's 4 sides on the inside. So I did 1, 2, now I gotta do 3, and the back side 4. Then I gotta get in the garden and start doing the same thing. So it's a long process. It takes a couple weeks, you know. So anyway, have a good one.